be like 15 of you here today. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, it's a start. So, Rich, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, thank you guys for coming tonight, and hopefully we do get the rest of the crew. They are definitely. I'm excited to see these.
So, Rich, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, thank you guys for coming tonight, and hopefully. I think we've got someone's mic on. They are definitely. I'm excited to. Oh, there we go. All right, thanks. So, yeah, no, I'm really excited. I can't believe it's the end of May. Like, we started this how long ago? And but it's exciting. It's each time we see this, it just keeps growing and growing. So, that's all I really have right now.
Cool. So the way this works is you guys can, it's whoever wants to go first, will screen share. So you guys will just walk us through what your final project is. And then I am going to post them not only to our community as a whole, but then I'm going to take your intro and I'm going to put it up with your final project on whichever page it ends up being on, where everybody can access it. Are there any questions about that? They're like, no. So, who wants to be the first victim? Like that, where he was laughing. He's like, yeah. Okay, call for victim number 1. Do you want to go, Ray? No? Yeah?
I'll go first.
Okay, good. We got one.
Okay, so I just lost my connection for a second, but I think I'm all back on. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so do I have to go to the share screen to share my project?
Yes, if you hit the little green box with the arrow, you'll be good.
Okay, so I'm going to try this and say something if it's not working.
Okay.
Okay, so my project started out, I'm a resource teacher. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade math, and I have a mix of all grade levels in my classroom. So I had very grandiose ideas when I started with this. And then when I tried to implement it with some of my students, it was really difficult. Some of them have a hard time even getting onto the computer. But I really wanted to keep the Scratch component and incorporate some coding that each student would have to do. So with that in mind, students can do more or less depending on what they're able to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start, hopefully. So I had to give step-by-step instructions for each of my students to make sure they have everything they need before they started. And then students are going to have a guided worksheet, which I can show after, that they keep with them while they do all the activities. And then students can record their answers here, but they can also do it on the paper if they get too frustrated or can't figure it out while they're doing it on the computer.
We may have lost your audio.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, something happened. Okay, so I put in a lot of hints for the students as well. And part of the reason I did this was to make sure that I didn't have to walk them through every step, every student. Again, some of them can work at a different level than others. That was loud, sorry. So they have these problems, the 3 problems that they're doing on their own with the guided worksheet. And then when it gets to this last page here, for the coding to come in, what I want the students to do, and they can copy the code that I did for the car, or they can create their own, but I want them to create like a turning radius and then be able to measure the radius using the graph paper and find circumference and area. And again, they can use what I did, and I would model that for them. And for some of my students that can't access the computer, they could do it on their own just using graph paper. And then this is a copy of the guided worksheet that they would have with them while they were completing. So their warm-ups would be to get the formulas down on the paper so they could use those while they're doing the activities. And then this would also just be more of the culminating unit. And then each activity is listed out and there's space for them to do each problem step by step. I would say that the most, and I think I just lost my connection again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Sorry. I can't see anything on my screen, but the most difficult thing for me on this, again, was trying to adapt it so it would be accessible to all of my students. And I had some more difficult coding requirements in there, which I took out. And just to start, I think having the students, again, being able to copy either what I had in there or creating their own. I did have a few students that after I gave just like a little bit of an introductory lesson, they were able to go off on their own, and they've been searching up their own games. They've created some of their own code. Am I there? There I am.
Very cool. Very cool.
So that's it. Any questions?
No, that was good. I wouldn't hit OK there, though. That's the only comment. You're still sharing your screen, so you actually have your. That must have been the first Hangout that failed on you.
Can I just minimize that then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to get back to the camera, you just have to hit the stop sharing.
Got it.
But that was good, really good. I like that you adapted it too after seeing how your students reacted the first time.
Yeah, that's good. I think that has been a theme with a couple of the presentations. It's all well and good when you put it on paper, but then getting it actually in to work with the students and their skill level. Great job. Anybody else have anything to add for her?
I can still hear.
I think we lost her. I think we lost her.
I'm still here. I can hear you guys.
Oh, there you are. You're a blank spot now.
I just can't see you. I'm going to try and log in from my desktop and close out this, and then I'll log in from my desktop.
Okay. Well, we'll continue on with the next person while you're doing that. Okay. Who wants to go next? Oh, here we go. We got doubles. Okay. I don't hear you guys, though.
Oh, okay. You want us to go? We can go.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, we're the double group.
We're the group. Oh. Are we at? You want to put their screen up?
Oh, yeah. We can share.
Okay. So one of the things that Ryan and I decided we want to do over this last year, every time we do anything cross-curricular, our students have a lot of issues. So we wanted to make sure that our lesson took on some of the math aspects as well as the science aspects. So we chose something that would involve equations and some science principles. So we're working with equations and gas laws. The way we decided to run this lesson would be to start them pretty simply by looking at some PHET stuff and some YouTube videos, and to go ahead and develop their understanding of the equations and the gas laws first, and then to use the Scratch as a way to demonstrate, as a kind of a cumulative thing at the end, to demonstrate their knowledge of those concepts. So we envisioned it as having taught it all, and then going through and using those. We loved those little manipulatives that you showed us on the Google Plus page, where they can kind of get into their groups and work through that coding together before they even get to a computer. Because for us, having access to the computers for the students is actually an issue. So we thought that that was a really great way to give them an opportunity to work through that code prior to actually going into the computer lab and working through the code.
All right, so this is what we ended up with. So the students would already have practice using Scratch, so then this would just be kind of a cumulative way so that they can understand Charles's gas law and apply literal equations for pre-algebra or algebra 1. So this is our code. Green flag is pressed, and then spacebar starts it. They're going to enter in their starting volume that they have. And the way we envision this is that they can create their own problem. So they can enter in anything they want. So the code that they come up with can solve any problem that they have. So I guess we can just start our problem with 100. So the starting volume is 100. They state their starting temperature. Let's say that's 50. So type in 50. On this side of the screen, it shows the equation. So once they're entering in their values, they can see in the equation what the other side needs to be. Their ending temperature, let's say that's 25. And using Charles's law, what should the calculated ending volume be? So the way that we have it coded, if they put in the wrong answer, then it's going to ask the person to try again. So if we put in 40, it doesn't work. So they need to make a, trying to point at the screen. You guys can't see that. They're trying to make the the fractions be equal. So if they put in 50, they'll get the right answer, and then the volume decreases. So if they end up with a problem where the volume increases, then the balloon should get bigger, and then that's a part of what they need to program to get to the end result.
So they would actually be creating something like this as their end product. This is just an example of the type of thing that they would create in order to put the project criteria.
Yeah. Is that all we want to say?
That's it.
Okay.
We're short and sweet. We're all business.
That's funny. That's funny. That's all we wanted to say. Great. So there. Any questions? That's cool. I really like that. The visual. I like that you've got feedback for when they get the right and wrong answer. That's really cool. The visual, though, that the balloon gets bigger and smaller, and that it's a good example to start, because you can imagine the kids are probably going to do all kinds of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you?
We wanted to make it so that they could see the science and the math part of it, because sometimes they understand one and not the other, so it kind of encompasses both.
Yeah, that's great. Great job.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, that was really good. And then have you thought of possibly any extensions beyond that where the students would actually start building more of the components, or let's say apply it to any other areas that you guys do cross-curricular?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in math, they're supposed to, at least Algebra 1 is supposed to learn literal equations, so equations that don't have the numbers within it. And then I guess we talked about them building another one with just moving the variables around and telling them if that was the right way to move them. So there's a couple ways that we wanted to do it, but this was one that ended up with both using math and
science. The reverse would be to have the balloon moving or using another one of those gas laws. And so they could, essentially, with the project criteria, they could choose whichever gas law they want, because they all involve literal equations. So this would be an example for them to see, so they could build their own.
Cool. Great. Anybody else? Any questions? Comments?
Questions, comments? Bueller? Bueller?
Yeah. No, we're not.
They're all like, yeah, let's just be done with this. No, that's really cool. It's exciting. So I know the next person up is Ray, because he waved his hand before.
All right, here we go. What's going on? Trying to get my screen there. Where'd it go? Here we go.
Okay, we keep hearing blings, and that's because I don't know if all of you guys see there is a little chat box on the top left corner. There's like a little blue box with lines in it. If you guys put your comments in there, then it won't go through the other Hangout window where it makes the blunk noise. If that makes sense, while he's getting set. Ah, there you go. Shannon found it. See, it doesn't make a noise when we put them there. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Whoa.
You just need to go back in and hit the share button and just do the window that you need instead of the entire screen. That's why it's doing that. So if you do today's Hangout, maybe, let's see. Richard, help out here.
I got to get out of this full screen mode. That's what's messing me up right now. Where did you go?
Yeah, or just have a separate.
I did have it separate. No, it's not. I don't see it. Where'd it go? It lets me switch, but it doesn't. What's going on? Come on.
Ray, you should be able to choose the window that you have, the active window that your project's in. So when you click on that green box, it should give you a bunch of choices, and you should be able to see the screen that your project is. Does that make sense? I'm all backwards. Sorry, guys.
Are you on the Hangout window? Like these gray?
No, it was. It has an open window, but I can't get it. See, I'm on this one, but I can't get the other ones to close. I could switch back and forth, and I could see it, but I have two Google Hangouts now, and it's not showing the other ones. It just
Oh,
because when I said when I filled up the screen, that's where it messed up everything.
what if you hit Alt Tab? Are you on a PC?
No.
You're on a Mac?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you're on that full screen?
Yeah, the full. I'm trying to get out of the full screen, but here when I go to the top, I can't see where it's going to let me get out of the full screen.
Yeah, it's oh, what is the command? I keep forgetting it. I know what you're talking about. Give me a
It's
second.
control. It's Control Command F.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was something with an F in there. Yeah. So hit Control Command F, and that should minimize that window.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you. Was that Andrew that said that?
No.
There we go.
Okay. After technical difficulties, we have what mine is called is the Polygon Challenge. What I envisioned, it was more like getting the kids ready, since I was going to give it to them, within the last couple weeks of school. It was more of a, let's review this, and then hopefully next year, if they do it a lot earlier, they could do a lot more of the coding themselves. But here goes. Basically, it starts off asking the name. And then it's going to ask them a series of questions, or I call it a game. This is how many sides of triangle, so they got to answer them. If they get it wrong, they have to answer until they get it right. They also earn points as they go. And then eventually, once they answer all these questions correctly, they're going to go to the next stage. So right here is where they think they're getting into like a pattern where it's like 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then the next question is kind of like, okay, are they really paying attention? So now they go for 8 instead, and instead of putting in 7, because they thought they were going straight. Now this is the next stage comes in. On this stage, what I wanted them to do, since part of their standard was to make sure that they knew how to coordinate graphs or drawing polygons. So this is kind of the intermediary step. So they got to put in the coordinates for each dot that they see there. They're not quite lined up, but they're kind of close enough. And it starts at that 50-50. So down here is asking me for the x first, and then it's going to ask me for the y coordinate. And if they do something like that, they go to the wrong place, they could start over. So there's a little checkpoint right here where it asks them, would you like to continue, type, or type no to restart. So if I go no, it's going to go back to, it shows another octagon that starts them over again. So it'll move back to the starting position.
That's cute.
And then it keeps giving them the subtle hints again, the reminders. So then now I'm going to answer it again, but this time hopefully I'm not going to mess up. So you got the minus. And then if you like to continue, press enter. So then it's asking for the next x value. And it was basically programmed to start off with at 50-50, and then they would have to make their way all the way around. And this is the final stage. I set it up where with the code where they choose a polygon of their choice, and based off of that, they could draw it. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to choose the triangle, so I'm going to choose 3, and basically I'm going to tell it to, where to go, where to start to make it. So make this one simple. So we'll just make a triangle, and it's kind of a similar coding to the stage 2. And again, they're earning points as they go. I just haven't decided whether I wanted to make it. They need to earn a certain amount. One of my students suggested maybe making it a minimum of 1,000 and stuff like that. And the same thing, the rubric is based off of how many points they get here, and then after this, they would have to, make their own coding, just similar to what we had to do during class and some of the projects, to, have them create their own shapes or create the code, or maybe their own block too that creates it automatically for them.
That's great. Really good job. I like the checks that you have built in.
And that was one of my students actually suggest. He said, how come we don't have a check? Because he was frustrated. I would send them back all the way to the beginning. And then he was saying that. Basically, it's a free draw, so I think I already messed up. I'm not sure if I entered it correctly yet. That was the Y. Which one? So it's going to go to different points right there. As long as you keep, doing it, and if you want to stop, you can say no, and then it basically ends the scripts. And that, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what it is. And then the next step, I was thinking that they would, like I said, create their code for it. Since I was thinking this was going to be something that was kind of be done here without them having a lot of background in Scratch coding at that point in time.
Yeah, that's good. Uh-oh.
No, that was me. But that's it.
Yeah, great job. Anybody have any comments or questions? No? All right. Anybody want to volunteer next?
I'll go next.
I got Andrew. All right, you're up.
All right. So mine, kind of like everybody else's, is kind of designed to. Mine's third quarter when we're talking about chemistry and density and stuff like that. And so at this point next year, they will already be kind of experimenting with Scratch and already have kind of a basic understanding of the program. Can everybody hear me okay? Or no? We all good? Okay, cool. All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thanks. All right. So let me screen share real quick. All right, did that work? Now I can't hear anybody else.
Yeah, that worked.
That worked. Okay, cool. All right. So here we go. So I designed a lab to go with it. Here's my lab. Can you guys see that? No?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. So here we go. So here's my lab. I kind of prefaced it by just saying that what I just said earlier, that is kind of quarter 3. We're experimenting with D equals MV for density. And as they go through this, I'll just show you the beginning of the lab here. As they go through this, I've kind of discovered this year that my kids really need, I have a lot of ELL kids, and they really need a lot of very specific instructions, let's say. And so I designed this lab to go around the Scratch project and thinking that, you know, there are certain parts where there are very specific instructions, and then there's a parts that is a little more open for interpretation. For instance, like this very first one, I'll show you what the Scratch looks like first. Let's get it full screen. It's really basic. We start with blocks, and this is my water down here, and we can take these blocks and drop them into the water. This one, for instance, is less dense than water, so it floats on the water. We can also have this one that's a little bit more dense than water that sinks to the bottom, and if you notice that the water level goes up if you sink it or you float it. So that's really basic, but with the lab that goes along with it, we have this idea of like they're predicting a lot of what is going to happen based on their equations and their calculations that they'll do before they actually try it on the Scratch. After they are done with all of the simulation part of it, it says now it's your turn to be creative. Now you can push remix and create the copy of your simulation. So basically, I give them guidelines of where else to go with the lab. Where else I make them do another block that is that has certain objectives to it. And since they already have the basic programming in Scratch, again, I kept it very simple. If you see inside of it, how do I get out of there? There we go. If you see inside of the Scratch, there's not a whole lot going on. It's really basic. And so I intended to do that because I wanted them to create a similar block with different properties that would sink or float depending on what they feel like and how creative they seem to be that day. So I'm going to go back to not screen sharing. How do we do that? Right there. That's all I have.
Really good. That I like the realistic simulation there where it floats and stuff, and you did it in such a simplistic manner because there are ways to use a lot of physics in Scratch to create that
right.
gravity effect, but it's cool the way you did it with just using the touching. So yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, something I see we have. I'm sorry, things are crazy on my end. I had several people trying to call me. We have 5 viewers that are watching. Those of you guys that are watching, if you guys text me your email address and ask me your Google account, I will send you the link, and maybe you can get in that way because I know you guys can hear us. That was just a sidebar. But back to your project, great job. I like that you created it simply so that they could then take it to the next level.
Thank you, and that helps a lot with my level of kids. Let's say it kindly. My level of kids in 8th grade is not terribly up to par, I would say. So it kept it simple. It's something that they can recognize, that they can even do live, and then kind of recreate at the end. So
cool, very cool.
Very
Anybody
nice.
else?
I remember that density formula for when I teach equations in math.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah. There's something else to say here. Okay, we're moving on, and you guys are putting comments on the side. I don't know if everybody's aware that we have the chat box on the right-hand side, and you can add your contact there. Just mute Stephanie. Welcome. You got in. I'm going to try to mute you, girl. It's not letting me mute her. But yeah, great job. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay, cool.
How do I?
Stephanie, we can hear you. So if you can mute your microphone.
See anyone? How do I? I can't see anything.
Go ahead and try. I'll try to keep muting her. I don't know what. It won't let me. I don't know why. Okay, I just turned it down. Okay.
I'll go ahead.
Was that you, John, that was going to go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I took a bit of a different approach. What I really tried to do is I tried to get the students to actually do some coding and actually change some coding. You actually play with the code itself. Obviously, they need a good little introduction. So the first thing that I did with that was first I gave everyone a paper, and I'll show you what this paper looks like. This is a handout that I gave to them. It's a list of instructions, and it is right. Nope, not that one. There. So I had a list of links on my website, so the kids are able to go to my website and pick the Numberline project, and it would bring up the Numberline project. As you can see here, it's just extremely basic. I've got a number line right here, water right here to represent sea level. Anything below the water is negative. And I have a button right here, so every time I press the button, it goes down by 30. And their instructions were to go and change it to something positive and see what happens. So they had to actually go and find this right here and put in something positive. So if I put in 15, they can see now that the airplane moves up every time that they click it, and if they can also do something more negative, they can make it go way down, and of course here now it's below sea level. Never tried to explain why an airplane can swim underwater, but that's just for the fun of it. So once they got that, they got a stamp in this box right here to show that they figured out how to do that. You can see here the last step they have here is to get stamp. And then they go to the next project, Numberline 2. Now this one actually asks them for questions. And so it says, what is my starting altitude? So we'll say 100 for now. And then it says, what is my change in altitude? And it says change in altitude because they can put a positive or a negative number here. If I put in a 50, positive number, it puts it on the number line appropriately, and also says my new altitude is 150. And their instructions here were to say that if it went below the water, to say I'm swimming. As you can see here, they already have an example right here that says if it goes up too high, it says I'm off the screen. So they can go ahead and learn how to use the if statement, and of course they'll give them some hints and also maybe show them a little demonstration to try to show them how to do that. Of course, I learned the hard way that once I change something here, it changes it on everyone else that tries to open it later on, so I have to be mindful of that. So that was the second activity. Shows them exactly how to do it. Create an if-then condition to say I'm swimming if it's below surface, which is below 0. And then, of course, the off-the-screen part. Won't spend too much time with that, but let's just try to get them used to the if-then statement, but also at the same time understanding adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. I'm sorry, what was that? I don't know if anyone's talking to me or if it's...
I think somebody has their mic open or something. So just keep going.
Okay. So then the third one is to finish drawing a triangle. So if I click the start button here, it draws two sides of a triangle, and it explains on here that they need to drag in another turn number of degrees and move a number of steps, and then turn again and move 10 steps again just to make sure that they actually finish a triangle. So, and I let them do this kind of as a trial and error deal. Trial and error, where you put in another turn 15 degrees, and they need to change it, so let's change it to 60, and then move another, and then we'll just say another 60. So they do that. Okay, obviously that does not finish their triangle, so they need to turn it more, say 120. And obviously they're going to need to move a little bit more, so I'm going to make that 100. And of course the idea is just to get them to see how this works. The turning it more degrees and moving it longer. And most of them just kept doing the trial and error until they were able to get something that worked for them. And I copied down some numbers that actually worked for it on my little notes, here. And then they had to write these numbers down onto their paper so that I can check it and see what they did. And again, once they were able to complete the triangle, they show me. Now they put the numbers on here, and then they show me, and I put a stamp of completion on there. So that's most of the coding part, or they're writing their own code. And then we go to the fourth project, which was the race car. Now, the race car is what we did in class, and I did this. A lot of it is to get them interested in coding and also have a little fun with it. So, I have my score up here. I have obstacles that come and oops. Let me go and start over again. I have obstacles that come and go. I have a cricket that makes me lose points, the green button that makes me gain points and also gives a little cheer. There's the oil slick, and I get a little quacking sound every time I go off the track. So you can want to see my score. I'm at 3 right now. And I'm not going to play this all the way to 20, but their goal was to get 20, and then of course, once they finish the 20, they can show that to me and get their stamp of approval right here. At that point, once they've done all those things, I gave them leverage to just do whatever they want. Do they want to play the game some more? Do they want to change things in that game? And I can go through each of these. I don't think you guys want to hear me talk about each and every one of these, but the idea was, what is something you want to do? How are you going to do it? And that requires a little bit more advanced things. They have to go to each of the different sprites and change the coding with them. Of course, my thing is still going here. So I can stop it. There we go. So I guess just an example, I'll say here, the first one, change the number of points you get from hitting a green target from 2 to 5. So they'd have to go to the green thing here and see. You can notice I got a couple comments in here to try to make it easier for them to figure it out. So this is code when the car touches a button, change score by 2. Well, change the 2 to a 5, and then there you have it. I'm not going to change it because it's going to change it for everyone else that opens this project again. But if they show me that, they get a stamp next to that particular box, and if they want extra credit, they can go ahead and try some of the other ones. I try to make it easier ones up here and the harder ones down here. And then as the finale, I just want a little feedback as to what they thought of it. Give me a number 1 through 5. How much you like this coding and like to do another activity? Helped you understand math, and if you are interested in doing this for a career. What I found is a lot of kids actually liked the activity, but not very many of them learned much math from it, and very few of them were really interested in actual coding. So that was just about an hour-and-a-half project I had for them. Richard was with me when we did this, so copied on a couple notes to things we can do better. But yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of pretty designs and graphics and such. Most of my ideas were to try to get kids actually manipulating the code. Now, since I have a background in computer science, it's very easy for me to think some of these things are a lot easier for the kids than they really are. So those are some things that I learned, and most of my students were able to finish most of these, and it was an interesting assignment.
It looks
Any
pretty cool.
questions?
I like the whole stamp thing that goes with it. They must be motivated by that. Anybody
Yep,
else?
and that's basically their way of getting graded. And I basically told them, your grade is how many stamps you get. If you get more stamps than necessary, you got extra credits, and so that motivates them.
Hey, when all else fails, bribery, right?
Yep. They're
So
often,
you didn't
often looking
have
for extra credit.
So there were no aspiring coders with this project, huh?
There were very few. There were a couple students that were really into it. Mr. Lombardo was there, and he pointed a couple of them out to me. That some of them really liked doing what we were doing. Most of them liked the activity, but weren't aspiring to be coders.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
fortunate to be there, and it was a lot of fun. It was great, and like you said, there were a couple of kids that just picked up on it right away and were cruising right through it. A lot of them were helping each other, which was great to see. And what I really liked, because I was surprised, I didn't know what to expect when I got there, but I really liked the format of starting something and allowing the kids to just play with it to see how it interacts, and let them just build off of that. So I thought that was a great idea.
Cool. Yeah. So now to stop the screen share, all you have to do is go back and to that green button, and then hit. I think you could stop it there. Oh, there you go. Cool. No, that was really good. Anybody else have anything? Okay, Dawn, we're moving right along. Did Dawn fall out? Are you going to try to do it?
Yeah, I'm here. Can people hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can do the screen share thingy. Okay. So you guys seeing my little brick wall Diet Coke versus Mentos?
Yes.
Okay. So I teach 7th grade science, and next year with the new standards, we're going to be doing chemical reactions. So this is the same one. Stacy and Brittany and I worked together on this, so you've seen this before. It's for chemical reaction, like I said. So you put one Mentos in, and then it starts the chemical reaction. Okay, that's it, short and sweet. Basically, the program is in here. Okay, I mean the coding and stuff, and so we would introduce, the concept, and then, I would have them, unless some kids were like really comfortable and knew about, and the idea would be that I've already introduced coding, some basics, okay, to Scratch to them, and then they could use this one at start. Only they would have to add on to, like, how much more would it be? Like, how much more what would happen? They have to hypothesize what would happen if they added 2 or 3 or 4 Mentos in, that kind of thing, and then kind of tweak there. They can remix mine and then kind of tweak from there. Okay, and that was the basic gist. Questions? So that's it. Am I still on?
Yeah, you are. I'm
Oh,
just
shit.
muted. I try to mute the mics so that there isn't all that feedback. So
Oh, you want me to mute? Oh, no,
No, no.
Okay, you were
It just
muting.
takes me a minute to unmute it again. So we usually mute them so that you guys don't get all the feedback. No,
Right.
it was. That's a good project.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, and when Brittany presented hers the first time, and like I said, the extension would be, well, this would be like their basis, their base, and then they would be able to tweak from there and show, how many more Mentos and stuff, and then we can have different comparisons, and then this would be followed up with an actual real demo with, Diet Coke versus maybe regular Coke versus the what do you call it, Pepsi, because there's supposed to be differences. Okay? So,
Cool.
what else do I do? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good. So
Okay.
you can stop the screen share.
Okay.
Richard, do you have anything more on that one?
No. Did you were you able to were you working with the other group too, or did you see the last hangout that we had?
I saw the first one, and I think I missed the second one because this is the third, right? And I don't know if Stacy, I don't know if you sent out an invitation or whatever, or viewed that one like you did on the first one. I still have only seen the first one, so I don't know if Stacy Schomburg presented her.
Yes, she did. And actually, I have to apologize. I completely forgot to post the other one. I'll try to get it up by tomorrow along with this one. So that's me. Slacker.
It's all good. Everyone's crazy. But if you can watch that one, she added an extension onto that the last time that she presented. So you'll definitely want to check that out too, because you might be interested in stealing some of those ideas or incorporating some of those into yours.
Great. Okay, who's next? I know we got some people that are moving in and out that keep dropping off.
Looks like Tanya's ready.
Tanya's ready? Where is she at?
Right here.
Oh, there you are, girl. It's all you.
All right, let me screen share. Everybody can hear me okay?
Yep.
Excellent. Oh, the screen share is a little slow. Let's see. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see this site I have. It's a kidsonline.net site. I teach computer literacy, and so one of the projects I spend a few weeks doing is internal components, and we talk about all the different parts of a computer, the peripherals, the insides, the outsides, and I try to give the students an appreciation, my 6th graders, for the technology that they have. And this website is great, except you can see this error right here that's been driving us crazy for a little while. So my summer project was going to be to rebuild this myself instead of using this website provided by someone else. But then when the Scratch assignment came up, I thought, okay, well maybe I can use Scratch to do it. So my project starts here, where I have a direction background, and then once they've read the directions and I have a handout for them, then they push the space bar. So they eventually go through and select each of these components, and I have it timed to give them a few seconds to read before they can move on. And when they're ready, they just type X to move on. And we go through several of the different parts of the computer. Can you see me okay?
Trying to get an appreciation.
Somebody's got their,
technology that
mute their mics.
And this website is great because you can see this error right here.
So once we get through several of these components.
Sorry. Hi. Hold on. I'm on a call. So, hey, can you guys hear me? I accidentally muted you, Tanya. You need to unmute.
Oh, there we go. Am I back?
Sorry. You're
That's
back.
okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. So as they go through these different pieces, and it's just several of the basic ones that I wanted them to look at, then it allows them to start playing a game which reinforces some prior learning that's about peripherals. And then they just move this little green bar back and forth using the right and left arrow keys to try and catch just input devices and see if they can't score several points. And when I get the wrong devices that are not input, then all of a sudden, you know, my score will keep dropping. And so that's how it works. Let's see. Hopefully it will take just a second. I can get a good score here. I was thinking that to extend this assignment, I could have, oh, I'm still getting too many output. I'm just going to go ahead and stop it. But I thought maybe to extend this lesson, I would have my students next year who are in the programming class, not the computer literacy class, maybe add a few extra levels for me, or possibly slow my clones down, or you know, as I was saying, switching the levels so that some of them would be maybe output devices only or storage devices, things like that. So let me switch. So my script is pretty detailed. It took a while to figure out, several hours, and there were several times when it broke on me and I was getting very frustrated. And I'll tell you that walking away for 24 hours really helped. Then when I came back, of course, I could see it again. So that, in essence, is my final project and how I thought I would incorporate Scratch into computer literacy, as well as hopefully my future coding class next year.
I love your little game. I think the buttons were just a little too dense to play it, but I love the idea.
Yes, and on my laptop, I agree they are. But when I was testing it on the larger screens that I have in the classroom, it works a lot better. But again, I thought that I could have my students maybe help me with that. I know that my weakness is not necessarily in creating video games, but I can come up with an educational use for them.
Yeah, a lot of good components in there that you can have the students continue with. I like that. I like that you had the game, and like you said, you can modify the game kind of like the way John did on his, as well as just having them get the concepts down of the different parts, and you can even then have them add a new part or go into further detail in one of those parts. So it's a good way to keep extending it.
Or maybe even switch my bubbles so that they're not bubbles, but the actual components themselves are dropping.
Yeah, that would be good. It'd make it a little easier for them cool. To know which ones to go after.
Yes.
That's really cool.
I appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Next person. I know Stephanie was trying to get in. Did you succeed, Stephanie? Maybe not. The screen didn't work. Who else have we not heard from? We've got Tracy did hers, they did theirs, Tanya just did hers, Shannon did hers, Ray did his, John did his, Dawn did hers. Did we get everybody? Andrew, you did yours, right? Yeah. No? Yeah. What you got to say, Richard? Did I get everybody that's in here?
Yeah, that's everybody so far, but no, it's great. Again, like I said, I look forward to these days. It's later for me, but I enjoy it, so it's great job. Like I said, I can't believe it's already almost June, and we started this, in the end of February, so you guys have come a long way, and I think with the experience you guys have had, and then also seeing some of the others, it'll just keep that momentum going, and it'll keep the ideas fresh because I know at the last hangout we had several teachers commented about, oh wow, like that's great. I wish we could have worked together, or I wish we could have seen some of these to get some more inspiration. But I think next year the sky's the limit, so you can basically do whatever you need.
Yeah, I think so too. I have to say that the development I've seen in you guys is awesome, because everybody's kind of bringing different, and it's all different levels. So some of them are real simple, and some of them are just copies of other ones that they've taken to the next level. And a few of you guys have gone like way beyond where I expected. So I think that after we get all these posted in a library format where you guys can really see all the different ideas, I think it'll really open up a lot of potential, a lot more potential. So Stephanie, did you get in? Oh, we see you.
Can you see me? Can you see me?
We see you and we hear you. Yay! Okay. So let's see if we can do this. I know this has been stressful. For those of you guys that don't know what's going on behind the scenes, we've got several people that have been struggling to get in with very little success. So Stephanie, you made it. So, you ready to share your screen and talk about your project?
Yeah, mine is kind of simple. I kind of made mine more of a test for them knowing the phases of the moon, because standard 10-11 of 7th grade science is students will use models to demonstrate the motion of the moon around the earth, which results in the phases of the moon. So that was the idea behind, that was the standard that drove the creation of the Scratch, and I don't know how to share my computer.
Okay, there's a little, in the left-hand side, there's a green box with a white arrow in it. If you click on that. No?
Okay. Yep, I see it.
And then share the window that has your project in it.
Okay, I have to open it up, I'm sorry. Let me go out. I was trying to get on, so I didn't even open it up. Let me go real quick. Nope. Scratch. Come on. Come on. Please do it. I'm sorry. I was working with 2 different computers and going in and out of everything.
It's okay.
And
I got people texting me. I got people that have frozen screens. I got all kinds of things going on here. So you're
if
not
I
alone.
had your number, I would have texted you 1,000 times. You would be so upset with me right now. You'd be like, "Stop texting me." Okay, so it's loading. It's just taking some time, and I don't know why. I don't know. Okay, here's my stuff. Nope, I don't want a new project. Come on, load.
While you're loading, I see Shannon said she's excited to see how it goes when we start the year by introducing the coding. I think it'll be cool too. I'm pretty excited, and I'm pretty excited that the next grant will get picked up. So I think we got a good start. You know, we got started late, and you guys have just been plowing through it. You got to start somewhere, right? So I think maybe by next it'll be good.
And
anybody else
to keep in mind, and this is for everybody, and I'm sure John, having the computer science background, he could probably relate too, but especially with Scratch, one of the things that I found is do not be afraid or intimidated by it. And it's okay if your kids know more, and I would expect your kids to know more, and that's fine because they'll be more than happy to help you. And like I said, I remember in the meetings, try not to hold them back, but just guide them. And you'll be surprised at the things they can do and how fast they pick it up. So I would definitely, probably the one big piece of advice is do not be afraid of the technology. Don't worry about what your kids know. They'll end up teaching you, and they'll also help support you with it. So I think they'll appreciate it more with you taking a chance as opposed to being intimidated by it and not feeling prepared enough.
Come on.
I agree. How we going?
It has that circle thing keep going around. For some reason it won't load. It loads fine when I'm not.
It could be your connection speed, so maybe it just can't handle multiple things. Anybody else have that issue?
I think I'm off of the other computer. Let me see. I can always.
So, hey, is your project up on the other computer?
That's what I'm geared to do. I'm geared to pull it up on this computer.
And then just
that
hold
way I
it
can
up
just
in
show
front
you
of the
from this
camera.
computer.
Yeah, there you go. Hey.
Yep.
Old school.
There we go. Now it wants to load. Okay, perfect. Ooh, it started. No, stop. Okay. Now it wants to load. Okay. Now.
So go ahead and share
Go back.
your screen, and then we can see what you're doing.
Okay. Share. Screen share. And there we go. Share. Okay, so when you press the green flag, she comes on and she sort of guides the students through the process of getting ready to take this short test.
You still there?
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
So basically, she's given them time. In the instructions, I kind of timed it, and she goes through it twice. So if you can see, as the moon makes its revolution around Earth, it goes through all of the phases, and there's numbers on them. So the students are to write the names of the phases for the number.
Okay, yeah, I think that the project's frozen on our screen. Oh, there it goes. Here it comes.
Okay, let me stop it and start it back over then. Oh, what is that glitch? Okay. So she's basically saying we're going to go through the phases of the moon, and she says number your paper 1 through 8, leaving room for the phases. She uses the vocabulary as well. I don't know what's going on with the 3. So it starts with 1 with the full moon. And then as the moon makes its revolution around Earth, each moon phase has a number. And the students are going through on their paper that she gave instructions to, and they're writing down the names of each phase. And she repeats it twice before the program stops. This is also good. The kids can also go in and create this themselves as well, but I thought to make it a test first. That's what I did in class anyway.
That's good.
So then she stops. And I already took it for a little test drive. It didn't have the glitch that it had when you guys saw it. Let me see if I can get it off a screen share, because I think you're seeing yourselves now. Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
No?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. So I made it into a test because at that time we were leaving out of moon phases by the time I finished the project. So I made a test, kind of test them over the names of the phases of the moon. And in the lesson plan, we reviewed the phases, we reviewed revolution and rotation, and how the Earth's gravitation keeps the moon in orbit around it, and the sun reflecting off of the moon is the reason why we see the different phases as the moon completes its revolution around Earth.
Great. That's a great activity. So how did your kids react to doing the test that way?
They thought it was weird. They wanted to make it. They're like, "Oh, do we have time to do it?" And I was like, not this year. Next year. Next year I will make it so they can actually make it themselves. But this year it was just a test, and they thought it was really cool, and they thought it was really exciting that I made that, because they were like, "Did you make that?" I was like, "Yeah."
That's cute.
So that was neat. And then some had some improvements to it, and I said that was great, that they already thought how to make it more exciting or how to make it into a game. So
excellent. Look at that. Good job. What do you have, Richard?
Yeah, really good. I'm glad because I remember helping you a little bit at the last meeting, and I'm glad that you stuck with it and got it working. So that's perfect. I know we had a little bit of trouble getting the rotations down, but no, that's great. And like I said, it's awesome when your kids want to actually do it, and you just need that little bit of a hook, and then you let them run. So great. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you end up doing next year with it.
Absolutely. Good job. So then we have Tanya. Did you go yet? Did we get you yet? Yeah, you went.
Yes,
so,
I did.
Yeah, you went. Look at me. I got tired of seeing myself, so I turned off the thing. I think we're good then. I think because Rachel, did Rachel get back in? No, Dawn, I don't see her. I know Rachel's been getting on and off all night, and Tamilda didn't get in. She's still texting me, so I think that's pretty much everybody. Shout up if I have missed anybody. Yes?
Can we go back and watch? I'm sorry.
What did you say?
Can we go back and watch the presentation from the beginning? Because when I started, I'm not sure who the man is with the glasses on. He was presenting first, but I didn't get to see it because it kept going in and out and all the difficulties with the computer. So is there a way that we can go back through so that I can see the other presentations as well?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I somehow dropped the ball. I didn't post the last one. So I'm going to get the last one and this one posted. I'll probably get it up by after our hangout tomorrow night at the very latest. So then all of them will be posted so you guys can review them. And what I had told the crowd was they'll also be cut out. We're going to be putting all of them up on a kind of bulletin board where all the resources are, and the little snippet will be shared with it at that time too. Okay?
One other question. Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Who had the question? No? Questions? Boy, you guys are a quiet group.
Monique?
Yes.
So there were a few people in the Google Hangout that I don't see that made it on, and they were asking for your text information. I think it was Alana and Jackie. I'm not seeing them here, but did you check your phone in the last few minutes?
Yeah, they're not. I haven't. Hold on. Oh, they're on Hang. They're texting me on a different one. Okay. Cannot present tomorrow. Side up. So Alana. Okay, so let me see if I can get Alana in. Hold on. Thanks for pointing that out.
No problem. There's just been a bunch of us that we're all trying, and
I know,
I figured you maybe missed a few.
And I was trying to keep up with them, but with all the different things, I guess I missed
hear
a
you.
couple. Email, okay. Email address. Let's see if I can get her in. And who else? Alana? Let's see, who else?
I think Jackie Calhoub. I'm not sure how you say her last name. I don't know if she's still trying, though.
Oh, here, I'm going to send it out to Alana. Maybe we can get Alana on.
Kristen H.
Okay, hold on. Here's one. HEDSGJA. Ah, crap. Went away.
Do you want us to post the final presentations, our final presentations and lesson plans up? Because I saw a few people done that.
Well, they've linked it. Richard, didn't you have a place that you wanted them to put them? Yeah, you could put them in where it says the final tab. You can definitely post them there, and I can grab them off of there. But I think Richard had a sheet that you could put them on too.
Yeah, so your project should have been in the form, and then what we want to try to do is to share everybody's. What I'll do is right after this ends, I will post the link to the studio, and all you have to do is click on that link while you're logged in, and you should be able to send or share your project into that group. So I'll go ahead and do that shortly, and it'll be on that resource page.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see, who else? I've got... Thanks. Let's see. Accept. I didn't... Okay, so I sent that one. Who else am I missing here? Tamilda, I don't think, can hear us. Let's see if I have anybody else. Oh, geez. I have a whole bunch of texts. Holman. Oh, that's the wrong... Hey, NB. Sorry, guys. Just bear with us. One of them sent it the wrong email address. Let's see. Did anybody else sign in the last 2 minutes? No? Oh, it says the... Okay. So, you know what you could do? If anybody wants to move on, they have other things to do, you guys could sign out, and then we'll just try to get the rest of them on. I don't want to keep everybody, you know, if they're busy or have to go somewhere else. So if you wanted to sign off, you can. Otherwise, I'm trying to get these other couple of people in, and it might take a couple of minutes.
All right. Thanks, Monique.
Thanks. Okay, so Alana's trying. Let's see. Tamilda, I don't think, can hear us. Oh, somebody's doing the playback. Let's see if I have anybody else. Hey, Alana, you're in.
Made it in, Alana.
Yay!
Oh, that's the wrong. Oh, but do you have? Are you playing it back too? Do you have the playback on, Alana? One of them wrong email address.
Tanya, thank you so much. So much, Tanya.
Okay, do you have, Alana, do you have a window open with the playback? What you could do, if anybody wants to move on, they have other things to do, you guys could sign out, and then we'll just try to get the rest of them on. I don't want to keep everybody, you know, if they're busy or have to go somewhere else. So if you wanted to sign off, you can.
I'm logging into...
Otherwise, I'm trying to get these other couple of people people in. It might take a couple of minutes.
Okay. I'm logging into my account now.
Thanks. Okay, so Alana's trying. Let's see. Tilda, I don't think can hear us. Oh,
I can hear you. I can hear now. Can you hear me? Yay! Thank you.
It's all delayed. Oh my goodness. Are you playing it back too? Do you have the playback on, Alana?
I'm not playing. No.
Sounds like someone's playing it
Somebody's
live.
playing it back. Tamilda, do you have it playing it back? Oh, look at you. You got one.
I don't think so. Let's see.
Okay, Alana, do you have a window open with, because when the playback, what happens is if you have that playback, it's got the delayed on there. You guys can sign out, and then we'll just try. Ah, here we go.
Better?
Yes, much.
Okay.
I hate the sound of my voice. Okay, I'm just trying to send one more, but while I'm sending this, hold on, if either Alana or Tamilda, who wants to go?
I'm happy to go. I seriously
Okay.
have been sitting in front of my computer since 3, like panicking. So I'm like, I don't see the link. So yes. No, that's okay. I'm just so glad it worked out for today.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. But hey, you're a trooper. Look at you. You endured.
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm going to mute my big old mouth, and it's all you.
Okay, I'm going to pull mine up, and I need to do, is it, okay. Okay, can you guys see the screen? I hope you guys can see the screen. Okay, so with mine, my program is something that I created for my students so that they can learn a little bit more about chemical reactions. There's a lot of times in the science lab where we've got chemicals that you can't mix because they might be dangerous, they might release toxic fumes, and so this is kind of my way to allow students to play with chemicals in a really safe setting. So I start off, and this is actually supposed to be me as my little avatar here, and so she kind of asked, do you want to help? And for every time that you're clicking on a button, she does respond to whatever you say. So sweet, you're in for some fun. Have you been to my lab before? And since I have, but you guys haven't, I'm going to click on the no button because what she'll then do is the teacher is going to walk you through information regarding chemical reactions, the different lab materials that you can use. She'll also explain kind of what that chemical reaction is and what types of things we're going to be looking for. So here, as you kind of read through it, I added some buttons in so that students, if they're taking notes off of this, they can kind of move at their own pace. So whenever you see the little pink got it button, it'll be something where you can click on that and you'll be able to just kind of move along at your own pace. So it's introducing vocabulary terms. Wherever you guys see a capital or capitalized term, like here it's reactants, that's going to represent something that is a vocabulary term that they will need to know throughout the program. So here I'm just kind of introducing a basic reaction and show that the molecules themselves are splitting apart, and I think in a future version I want to actually make it so that the molecules move to be in those new positions to produce the new substance. So as she's talking about this, keep moving. And now she's actually going to talk about the evidence that you'll be looking for as you're going through and performing the 5 different experiments that I've put in. So she'll talk about, you know, you might see a color change, you might see a change in odor, you might see the formation of gas bubbles. You might actually also have, oops, sorry, I went too fast on that one, but like solids or precipitates. The other pieces of evidence the students are going to look for are giving off light or heat energy, or if heat is being absorbed and it turns into a reaction that feels a little bit colder, something that we would call an endothermic reaction. So again, this could be something that teachers could use in their classroom to maybe reinforce some of the concepts that they've taught, before doing a lab, or it's something that I actually considered giving to my students as like a review at the end of the school year. But I've also thought about it as being something where, all right, well, to introduce you to this topic, let's go ahead and let's kind of play around with this way. So now she's talked about what you look for. Now she's going to show you the different materials that you will use throughout the lab. And so she'll kind of mention one at a time and explain what to do with it. So again, every time you do some type of action, she'll respond in some way. So here she's going to show the beaker. This is where all our chemical reactions are going to take place. And then she'll show the bottles, and each of the experiments are going to have the 2 bottles set up in the exact same way. And so here she's just explaining the process for how you use them to actually see the reactions that take place. Again, in future versions, I think I want to add a little bit more with my animations. I want to also add more sound effects. I want to, I don't know, make the background look a little bit more colorful too. So I don't know, I have lots of grand plans, but. So then the thermometer will be something that is also embedded into each of the experiments, so students can keep track of the temperature, so they'll be able to tell if that form of evidence is taking place. With this part, there's not really a way for me to skip past it like there was in the other section. So I apologize if no one wants to learn about chemical reactions, but hopefully it'll be interesting. So clean beaker, here is something that you also use in each of the different experiments where you click on it and it will clear your beaker, it will clean up all the chemicals so that you are able to move on to the next one. Again, in future versions of this, what I want to do is I want to actually make it so that if students don't have, like, they forget to clear their beaker before they put in new chemicals, I want there to be the reaction that takes place, and then she'll kind of like, not really scold them, but be like, oh no, you just could have caused this to happen or something, to try and make it a little bit more realistic. So the next button is my little button to allow, and here's a glitch, I still can't figure out how to get everything working here and be in the place where I want it. But so here's the first reaction where the students actually are playing, and so they'll click on hydrochloric acid and drop it into the beaker. Then they'll pick up, and I've been struggling with this one today. I don't know what happened with it, but this one for some reason keeps glitching on me as of today when I was looking at it last. So I don't know why it's not working, but here we go. So then she's going to ask 3 questions after each experiment to help you analyze to see if a chemical reaction has taken place or not. So here's where the students can test their knowledge. Change in color, yes, and then she'll go through and explain exactly what you should have seen. So if you get the incorrect answer, she'll tell you, hey, sorry, you got this incorrect, let's try again. Also, something else I'd love some help with is I was really struggling to try and make it so that she would say something until I pressed the button. So for instance, did bubbles form showing the emission of a gas? There actually was no gas in this case, but it keeps flickering and flashing until I actually click on it. I don't know how to make it stop doing that. So I don't know. No. Not working again. All right, hold on. Sorry. Go. Sorry, I also really struggled with my project. I made a mistake of, unfortunately, being logged into 2 different computers at the same time with my project. And so when I was working on it at school, I worked on it after school one day, and I had spent a whole bunch of time later. I got home, and I had not logged out of my other computer, so when I got onto the other one, it actually saved over everything I'd already done. So I was a little panicked after losing, I thought, of about 6 hours worth of stuff that I'd done. All right, let me try the experiment again, see if I can get it to work.
Hey, why do something just once?
Yeah, exactly. So again, all right.
This is really cool.
Thank you. All right. I'd also love it if maybe someday I could record my voice to go along with it, or record somebody else's voice, because I think it'd be more fun to like listen to it in addition to reading it as well. So like this right here, I don't know exactly why it keeps flashing like that. Could be maybe the time frame I've got it running for, but I found that when I was trying to repeat and tell the mouse down button, and it was going for longer than that, if I clicked on it, it wouldn't ever advance past that part. So I don't know, I need to look at my coding a little bit more. Final question. And I'll try and go quickly through the rest of them, but there are some cool experiments and reactions in here. Was there a change in temperature? This time there was, so yes, you're right. Temperature rose, showing that heat was released. So again, it'll kind of reinforce the big ideas that were brought up in the beginning. These are actually exothermic. Got it. All right, so for the next experiment, and then again, we'll have to clean out our beaker. Then again, she'll ask different questions. I can actually, if you guys, for the sake of time, want me to, I can go to maybe like the 5th experiment, because from the 5th experiment is when it leads into like the final quiz, and so it just kind of goes over again. All right, well, here's the big ideas that you should have learned. I'll do that. All right. All right, so one of the same chemicals from before, but this one is another chemical that we're mixing with. So no color changes this time. Color stayed the same. So again, if the students get it incorrect, I did try and explain what they should have seen. So state of matter, I observed production of a gas, but I'm going to click on, definitely saw some changes here. Production of gas bubbles. So yeah, I just hope none of my students have seizures if they're playing my game, because otherwise...
Come on now.
I don't know how to fix that, so...
Holy cow! That's... I'm speechless as far as I can't believe all that you've done with this project.
Well, thank you. I had so much fun working on this, and so I wanted to make it look like, I wanted it to be something I could actually use in the classroom, something that I could do. Oh no, stop glitching. Come back.
This is great. And the idea of adding audio is awesome. It's a good idea, but just from somebody who has created quite a bit of online content and had to use their own voice,
yeah,
you might want to, first of all, give maybe extra credit points to a student that's a good reader, because it's a younger voice, they'll be more interested. And their voice won't grate on you like listening to your own.
Yes. Yes. No, I totally feel you. When you were saying earlier, oh, I don't like the sound of my voice, like, whenever I hear my voice, I'm like, oh, I am so sorry to anyone who ever has to listen to me. So, no, that's a great idea to have a student do that. So, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm almost done. Cool. It's running through the last couple lines of code. So, do you agree? During it will always stay the same. So it does not always stay the same. Oh, I got the wrong answer. So again, she kind of explains, if you get the wrong answer, she'll tell you, all right, here's why you're incorrect, but let's go ahead and try again. Sorry, that flickering is really bothering me. I tried so hard to get rid of it. No, we did not see all the evidence. So then she'll go through, and since there was one of the pieces of evidence that you didn't see in this reaction or any of the 5 reactions, she goes through and she actually provides evidence for a few reactions that students probably have come across, or at least maybe they haven't come across it, but they've had experience with or know of it, and that's the change in odor. And so again, this is one of the hardest ones to observe because a lot of the times in a lab, if it releases an odor, that's because there's like a toxic gas or something harmful that's coming about from it. So it's something that I was thinking maybe eventually I could create like a face where she makes like a stink face, like, ew, this is smelly, or maybe there's a dead bug or something that falls, I don't know. So I just tried to provide evidence for things that kids would be like, oh, okay, well, here's a chemical reaction, so rotten food, again, or sour milk. Oh, I've smelled that before. That doesn't smell pleasant. And then one of them in 8th grade, because 8th graders are stinky, stinky people. We talk about, especially in their health classes, like, all right, well, you need deodorant. So as we're talking about the chemical reactions, we talk about that reaction as well. So, and then car exhaust, and then a skunk will be our next one. Again, I have my code set up, so as soon as I click the mouse button, it should advance, but it keeps glitching, so I'll have to take a look back at that again. And then we're right at the end where she's going to say, thank you so much. You've been an awesome help. Feel free to come back and work with me anytime. And I think you're ready to work on your own in your own laboratory. So the rubric that I did to go along with this, since it's more of an individualized student project, is for the student to fill out. So after they've completed it, it's going to help the students look back and see, okay, well, did I understand this? Yes. Okay, well, I understand a lot of these. I did a great job with this. Whoa. Sorry, I don't know how to get back to... Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the rubric is for the student to self-assess and see if they understood the concepts that were being brought up in the experiments, and if they did, then it says, all right, you're good to go. You can try this on your own in your own classroom. Or if they need help with it, it'll say, okay, we'll go back, try the experiment again, see if you can get a better grasp of the information on it. So, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I would have students do. Like, I think it'd be kind of cool to have students create their own experiments and add in their own levels for another experiment, and kind of take the code that I've written and expand on it using what they've created too. So I think that's the extension that I might have students do if they do have experience with coding. But I don't know. I had so much fun with that.
Cool. Richard's being quiet. I'm shocked.
No, great job. Well, first of all, thank God you were able to get it back. So
yeah.
That was the first thing. No, awesome job. And I posted the link in our community so you guys could add your project. So what I'll do is I'll pop in once it's up there, and I'll take a look at the code to see what you can do to play around with so you don't have that flickering.
Thank you. I posted it on like the main page today at like 12:30 on my lunch break. So
okay, I'll have to
take a look at it.
For sure. But otherwise, great concept. That's very thorough. So awesome job just on your end of being able to code all of that. So I'm sure your kids will definitely learn and gain. And depending on which way you go with it too, that you have so many possibilities. But the experience alone for them is going to be great.
Cool. Well, thank you for your feedback. I really, really appreciate that.
Oh, it's great. It's an amazing project. Holy crap. I want to go in there and play around with it.
Oh, feel free. And then let me know, because I feel like it's so helpful to have other eyes look at it. I had a few of my students test it out yesterday and let me know some bugs that I hadn't realized were there. And so I tried to fix everything before today, but I probably missed a few. So
no, yeah. It was great. It was awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad you got in.
Me too. Thank you again.
Okay, so then we have, of the newbies, we have Kristen and Jackie made it in. Who wants to go next? And Tamilda, you're there too. Do you want to
Yeah.
go?
Can you hear me?
Yep, and you've got my lovely face all plastered all over there.
Do I supposed to stop sharing? Is that what I do?
No. Just make sure that we're on the right. We need the window that you want to show us. Your project.
For my project,
Not my ugly face.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, you want me to go?
Sure, you're there.
Okay. My project pretty much is, in my lesson plan was on rational and irrational numbers. Really, is the real number system. So, I introduced the real number system. With the natural numbers, went through that spiel, introduced the whole numbers and irrational numbers. This particular one, because I actually made 2 scratches for it. This one is more of a reinforcement tool, because when I introduced it and we discussed it in class, so basically they can use the Scratch for reinforcement of the teaching, and it's basically on auto. So what they would do is, and I'm just going to show you, they would click on the arrow, well, this right here. Let me blow this up. Hold on. Okay, can you still see it? Hello?
Yes, we can. Sorry, I had my mic muted.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't work when you blow it up, huh? I don't think. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, never mind. So it goes on automation, and if you notice, the way I coded it is so that it can blow up because it was too small. You couldn't see the numbers hardly, so it'll hit on a color, which, if it's integers, or the pink if it's whole numbers, and so forth, and then the little B says what it is. And so it's reinforcing those particular numbers and where they belong in the real number system. So it goes on, and then it stops on its own. It basically kind of go for a long time. I don't know if you all want to, and if you notice, it gives examples of those numbers, so they would know they would know where those numbers belong. If it's like the natural numbers, it's going to say square root of 9 because that's 3 basically. So I didn't just give regular natural numbers or regular whole numbers. They would need to know also square roots, which we had covered also previously.
Cool.
And then the irrational numbers, still square root of 2, but they had to know square root of 2 versus square root of 4. Square root of 4 is rational numbers, and square root of 2 would be irrational. So I built that all in because we had discussed all that, and I had given them notes on that.
Cool. I don't know my square root, so I can't tell you.
Oh. And this is an 8th grade class basically, and it's covering the standard 8.ns.A.1. And even I wanted some negative numbers in there too for the integers. And it will repeat so that they'll know that, okay, it may square root of 9 is 3, but it fits in natural numbers, but it also fits in whole numbers. It also fits in integers, and it also fits in a as a rational number. And they understand that the rational number, you can put it as a fraction or as a in the form of A over B.
Very cool.
Okay, so that's one. Do you want me to stop it now, or do you want to wait till the end, or?
No, that's good. And does anybody have any
Because I have another one to show. Is what I was going to say.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
just
let's
one.
see the other one.
You want to see the other one? Okay. Sure. So this one, like I said, that one more so is a reinforcement teaching tool. So let me do this, and then to stop it, you know, then it'll stop. And then if they want to restart it, they'll hit on the green flag. Okay, this other one. In fact, I think I made this one second and this one first. Okay, this one right here is it's also a reinforcement tool, but it's also self-assessment for the student. They can self-assess themselves whether they get an understanding of it or not. And then it also can be a teacher assessment, you know, because I could go and they can orally, you know, say, and then I can assess them orally on an oral basis. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so let's see. And and so this gives the explanation of it. I wrote it so that you know, once they hit the arrow or this little flag in the middle and stuff, then they can say to themselves where they think the balloons will belong. So like pi over 2 is the purple balloon, you know, whether it belongs in the whole number, natural number, or irrational number, or integer. And so that's what the alphabet stand for, which, you know, I did have to explain to them. I think what I probably would do is go back and write the whole thing, you know, instead of a W, maybe whole number, you know, natural and stuff like that to make it more explicit. If somebody came along and just looked at it, they might not know. That's one thing I would change looking at it now. But anyway, then they would basically hit the P for purple, okay, and then see where it goes after they have already thought about where it should go. Once that happens, then it'll basically, you know, self-correct and let them know, you know, whether or not they got it right or not once it goes to the right place. The blue one is they would type in B for blue, and then it will move. They would type in G for green, and it will move. Y for yellow, and it will move. They would type in a K for black, and then it will move. M for maroon, and then it would move. And then O for orange, and then it would move. Okay, so I'm going to go on and do it. And it is not acting right. Oh. What happened? Hold on. Hold on. I know, and I did this before, and before I had, you know, earlier today it worked fine, but I didn't have it blown up. Maybe that's it. Stop. And usually when I hit the green button, it comes back. Well, let's try this. Okay, there. So it hit and it stays there basically. And then I'm gonna hit the G for green. No, not try again because it didn't go to the right place. Then it comes back. Okay, and then the Y for yellow. I don't know what happened to that purple balloon.
Cool.
And you know, but like, as I say, they will say it first, and it's kind of like a little game kind of in there where, you know, no, try again, or whatever. But if they not doing a self-assessment and it's just a learning thing, then when it will you know, move to the different places. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm tripping myself up.
Looks great.
Uh-oh, that one is a little off. Oh, no. Okay, the rational numbers, yes, and the green, excuse me.
No, it looks good.
Okay, and then K for black. Okay, and see, that's a repeating decimal, and I did put it as negative so that they will know that not only positive repeating decimals are rational numbers, but also negative. And then I put that one, although it's a whole number, I wanted to put it 0 over 1, because it could have been rational, number also. And then the O for orange. But yes, whole number, but what else? And so that's so that they can know that it can belong in more than one place. And yes, rational number, but what else? I think I wanted it to also go to a natural number. I don't know. And that's the, it is time consuming. Because sometimes it don't go where you want it to go. It's like, okay, shouldn't you have gone to natural numbers by now?
Excellent. So have you tried that out with your students at all yet?
Well, I did, which one? I did one of them. I forgot which one it was, because Richard had come in. And I think it was this one because this was the first one I did.
Cool.
Yeah, when I stopped in, I think you were working on this. You were doing the music one, I think, with your students.
Yeah, they did the right, but I remember I had already did the rational numbers myself. I didn't have them to do it themselves, but I just used it as a tool for some teaching.
Yeah, no, that's great. I remember when you were working on it, so I was glad you got it all completed. So great.
Yeah, but anyway, it'll go on to natural numbers, and then it'll stop, at that point, because once it goes through all the ones that it applies to, and then the natural numbers is the one that I wanted it to basically kind of stop at, but it's not doing it right now. They would have to keep on plugging it in, and but anyway, you understand where the basics of it. So I just wanted to go to natural numbers. Yay! Okay, finally. So that's basically it in a nutshell. And after doing this, because like when I do it next year, then that's how I would do it. Introduce, do the scratches. Then I would back it up with the activities I have them do. Practice activities I have them doing.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then I want to do some other things, some other things that I haven't done in the past, maybe dealing with this irrational numbers, but some other hands-on activities or whatever.
See, you've gotten the coding bug.
I know, huh? Okay, so that's basically it. I don't know how to come back.
You should be able to just, I think it's the same, you go back into that area, the green thing, and it should say stop screen share.
I don't know what happened to the purple balloon. The purple balloon just got lost somewhere. It never did come back. I'm just laughing
Go
about
away.
that. Yeah, it just disappeared and didn't come back, and it's supposed to have because it's programmed to do that. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to see why it glitched this time. It hadn't been glitching, ever since I made it and practiced on it. But this is the first time it just disappeared and don't want to come back.
Funny.
I know.
Well, thank you. Great job.
Okay,
And
how
so
do I come back to?
you should be able to. Now, can you see Jackie now?
I don't see nobody. I just see my screen. Oh, stop sharing.
Okay.
Do I do stop sharing?
There you go.
Okay. Let's
There
see.
you go. And you're back.
Let me see. Can you see me yet?
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh, really? I can't see you all.
That's
Do I
strange.
supposed to see you all?
Yeah, well.
I mean, I still see my.
Oh, you know what? You probably need to click on your computer tab that has the Hangout. You may not be on your window.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. You're right.
I remember seeing you
Feeling
move
me.
over to
Right,
that.
right. I had to go to right.
Yeah.
There we
So,
go. There we
There
go.
you go. Now you're it.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh, I had the most trouble trying to get in here.
I know. I'm so sorry. I think it's because there's so many of you guys tonight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So
I didn't have the link, remember?
Oh, yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I must have left you out. That's all me. I apologize.
That's okay. I finally did it and, got that over with. I was nervous.
See, it's so bad. You just have to get it over with.
Right, right.
Perfect. So that leaves Jackie in the list. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back. How was New Orleans?
It was fun.
Oh, you went to New Orleans?
I did.
That's
Jackie.
where I'm from.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh, all right. That's right. That's right. Right. Because you gave me a pencil and an eraser.
Yeah. So Jackie, just to put her on the spot, is one of our Code.org trainers for next year. So.
Oh, wow.
So she was down there for training with 4 other people. So.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear all about that. But this is
right.
not the venue.
Did you have some beignets?
Yes.
Did you eat plenty of seafood?
Yeah, they gave us some. We went to Café du Monde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went there twice, actually.
Right.
And, the touristy stuff. We didn't really have a lot of time, but, we did do bourbon one night, and
okay.
It was interesting.
Great. I know you had a great time.
Oh, yeah, it was fun.
Right.
Definitely. All right, so let me...
Share it out. Let's hear what you got.
Did I do it?
Not yet. The green box. The green with the white arrow in it on the left-hand side.
Why is it not doing anything?
Uh-oh.
I'm clicking it. It's you. Yeah, I'm clicking it. Ah. It says screen share. I click on it. Nothing's happening. Ugh.
Oh, no.
Figured. Can you see that? No?
Nope. Still
Try maybe minimize all your windows one at a time and see if it's already up, and it might be hidden behind something.
That's Chrome. I probably should have used Chrome and then Firefox. Yeah, screen share. It pops out. It says video camera off. Settings. Figures. I'm the last one, and my poor kid.
Yeah, he's cute. I saw you had him up there. He had his nose in the camera there.
He wanted to play, and I'm like, no. But yeah, it's not doing anything. What am I doing wrong? My first hangout, so of course.
No.
Please chat.
So.
Oh wait. No.
You don't have a second window open, and that one's just.
Oh wait, here. Select window to show.
Yes, there you go.
Desktop. There we go.
Ah, okay. Now,
There we go.
oh,
Hold on, honey. Oh, there we go. Can you see that?
yep, we can see
Okay,
it.
good.
You're good.
Okay. All right, so I teach 6th grade science and have done the human body for the last couple of years, and this year we ended with the human body with the new curriculum. So as a culminating activity, I've been using the old textbook is called Science and Life Issues, and the game is called the Circulation Game. And it fits in perfectly with the new standard of LS 1-3, where you use an argument to support the evidence of how the human body is a system of interacting systems composed of groups of cells. So I made the circulation game that we actually used to play with. The book is called Sally. And what we would do is go out into, and I didn't get the chance to do it this year, but in previous years we'd go out and you make a model of the circulatory system on the like outside, and what you would do is you would have people, and the kids would be either the heart or the lungs or the liver or any of the organs of the body, and then you'd have the blood flowing through them, and you would have to see where, Jordan, mommy's working, okay. You would have to see which side of the body has the oxygenated blood and which side of the body has the blood that needs to go to the lungs and get, mommy's not sharing her screen. I'm sorry, I got my 4-year-old here. Sorry. What would happen is the kids would circulate through the body, and the people who are the heart would tell the kids where to go, and on the right side of the heart they would tell them to go to the lungs, and the left, and then they would go to the lungs and then come back up to the heart, and then they would go out to the body. And shh, Jordan, stop. Oh, what's the heart? Sorry, guys. And what would happen is a lot of times the kids would end up dying because they wouldn't have blood going to the head or to the body, and you know, if there would be a clot or whatever. So what I did was make the game into a computerized game to show how the body needs blood to be oxygenated by going to the lungs. And let me show you.
Could this just erase?
Let me show you what this looks like. So let me make this bigger. Okay, hold on, mommy's talking, okay? So what we have is you are a car, and this is a drop of blood, and right now it is oxygenated because it is on the left side of the body. And to play, you have to go around the body and drop off oxygen. And then eventually you're going to run out of oxygen because you start with 5, and you need to go back to the heart to get pumped to the lungs, where you get more oxygen, and then you get pumped around the body. Your object to do is not to run out of oxygen, and also to watch out for the little, you'll see the little yellow dots, which are waste, because all cells make waste during their processes.
Yeah.
So it'd just be a fun way to show the kids how the circulation flows.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so we're gonna play. So it's just like the game that we made, and then you slow down, and then you turn. So he dropped off oxygen, and then he turns. Oops.
Can we try?
And now we're gonna. Oh, and I ran out of oxygen, so. And the kids would have a fun time seeing if they could.
That says run out oxygen.
Gotta watch out for those.
Those yellow thingies.
All right, so we're gonna move. Come on.
You just run out of the oxygen.
Yeah, we're gonna run out of oxygen.
Why? We didn't.
Oh.
I can't get too.
So.
What's that?
So the kids have to not run out of oxygen.
Mommy.
and not
What
and
is
stay
that?
on the
What's
track
that?
to make
What
it.
is that?
It's called waste.
Waste?
Yep.
What's that?
I don't know why it keeps on making me stop my game, but that's the gist of my game is to get back to the lungs. Jordan, Mommy's talking. Mommy's talking to the people. Hold on. Sorry, he's about done. I've been waiting for 2 hours with this, and the kid is he's done. So basically, my diagram isn't true to the diagram that we used to play in the circulation game. It's just because of the space factor for the screen. What I would want to do is to actually make it maybe smaller and make it so that there's the head and also the other parts of the body, because it actually goes down to the lower part. And I'll show you what I have the diagram of what the game used to look like. I'll show that to you guys. If I could go back here, maybe. Can I go? My video camera? Did I turn it off?
You did.
Can you see? Oh, that's me.
That was you?
I can see my screen. Looks really weird. Can you see my? I don't see the cameras back on yet.
It's just the desktop.
How do I go back to the camera? Oh, this is me. That's you.
Oh, great. Lovely. You just have to stop screen sharing.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is.
You go.
So this was the game that we used to play, and just to make it better for the kids, they were able to use the computer. I didn't get to play with them because of SBAC testing, and then next year when I have all the computers, I'll be able to actually do it in the classroom. So I will probably have to go back and fix some of the circulation game, but I could just imagine that it would be fun to do both, to go out and do the game, and then go in and actually have them play the game to deliver the oxygen and to get rid of carbon dioxide, just to show that all the body parts do need oxygen as well through the system of the circulatory system. So that's my project.
Excellent. Good job.
Thank you.
Richard, do you have anything?
Yeah, no, that was really good.
I'm not sure why I kept dying and why it didn't let me go into the lungs and then back out. I'm going to have to look at the code again.
That's Murphy's Law. As soon as you're put on the spot and you want to show it to somebody, it doesn't work.
Okay.
And,
Great job.
I like how you showed your the previous paper version.
Yeah, right?
So.
Anyone who's used this Sally book, you know that this is what they gave us.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is the model that I made mine based out of, the half. So you could see that this became the game on Scratch. So that's what I based mine on. So it was, you know.
Yeah, I like that you have the visuals too, because that shows you how you can take a paper assignment and create something different.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I think I did a pretty decent job of making this onto something a little bit better.
Yeah, no, that was a great connection.
Yeah, I'm a full practice.
Excellent. Well, cool. Well, I know you guys have all been hanging in there, and there are a couple of people that I'm going to have to talk to tomorrow to ease their angst from not getting in. I appreciate all the hard work, and I'm going to get these posted. I'm going to try to post one tonight because they have to render before they post. So I'll try to post not this one, but the previous one, and then tomorrow I'll post this one, and then on Friday I'll post the last one. So great job, guys. Awesome, awesome job.
Hello.
Hey.
Anybody have any questions?
As teachers.
So cute. So if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll call it a night. I'll send you guys all your timesheets before I leave here. So if you guys can just print them, sign them, get it back to me, then I'll submit those for pay. And for tonight's session. And other than that, any questions?
I have one comment. Well, good job, everybody. And then I posted in the forum the link to submit your project. Just make sure you click on the link, and it'll take you to the Scratch page.
Really did that.
Add project, and you can paste your URL from your project right in there. So we'll have everybody's in one spot.
Sweet. Great. It's in the community center. In our community.
Okay.
So
So we have to post it again if we already did it?
Yeah, you'll just click on the link for where it says it's a Scratch link. It'll take you to what's called the studio, and just click the Add Project button, and you paste your URL. And what it does is it's on Scratch, and it puts all of the Scratch projects in one folder.
Okay, you go do that.
Cool. And Richard, is that something that we can do too, just transfer them over, or do they have to do it individually because they own the project?
We could probably do it too, because I think all that you need is the URL, but we'll have to confirm that.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, well, thanks, guys. Great job. Awesome. And I'll be emailing you guys in the morning about books and stuff. And other than that, you'll get your timesheet. And good job. Great job. I'm so glad you guys all hung in there.
Hey.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Have a good night.
Bye.
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 You too.